Okay, we are now recorded, and so we'll continue on uh, with our presentation. For those of you who don't know me, I'm past District Governor Mike Smith. I am your instructor for this evening. I was District Governor for District 2S3 2010, 2011, and 2015, 2016. And I'm currently going to be the incoming Global Leadership Team coordinator for the district for 2017 through 2020. So as we go forward, you'll know who our instructors are. Congratulations. You've been elected to the position of club secretary. That's a very important position. You are the president's right-hand person. You and the president need to get very close and personal throughout your year of service. If you're working together as a team, there is nothing your club cannot accomplish during your term of office. Tonight we're going to talk about completion of this course. You will be able to recognize the purpose of Lions Club and where the club fits in our Lions Club International structure. We'll summarize your responsibilities of club secretary and then show you some additional resources and where you can find them. So there's 5 sections that we're going to cover tonight, and the first section is, of course, the introduction. We'll talk about the leadership team, the responsibilities of the club secretary, planning your term, very important aspect, and then we'll talk about resources. As a secretary, you're an integral part of the leadership team working to support the club president as he or she leads the club in service activities that support your local community and surrounding areas. But it's important to also note that you're part of something much bigger. Lions Club International is comprised of a large network of Lions with clubs at our center of our organization. All the other concentric rings around the club organization, whether it be zone, region, district, multi-district, constitutional areas, help us communicate up and down the line, globally, regionally, and down to local. You as the club secretary will be a liaison for a lot of these layers, and we'll talk about that in more detail later. There is a workbook for this, and it will be available. I was not able to get it down till late this afternoon, and so it's going up on the website, and you will be able to download the workbook, and you can go through the workbook as well based on your notes from tonight. Club is 20 members. The zone consists of 4 to 8 clubs. Region consists of 10 to 16 clubs. A district is at least 35 clubs or with 1,250 members. Several districts in a geographical area come together, form a multiple district. The multiple district for Texas has 16 districts in it. Each Lions Club is located in one of 7 constitutional areas. And that's how we are all organized. Realize that every one of these concentric circles above the club level are there to support the club. The club is the core of our organization. As I said, it is the heart of our organization. You are the epitome of local. So the majority of what you do should support local service activities. But you also have the help with our legacy of global service. As a club, this is our mission statement. You should know this is mission statement and try to make sure your members know it. To empower volunteers to serve their communities, meeting humanitarian needs, and encourage peace and promote international understanding through Lions Clubs. That standard clubs and constitution and bylaws was sent to you for this purpose, so we're going to talk about it. I'm going to have you in the chat either reflect yes or no for the following statements, and I'll have Lion John give me the preponderance of the answers from the chat. Remember, respond in chat. Click yes or no. Lion John, we have an answer. Lion John, you have an answer from the chat? I've unmuted you.
Okay. As of yet, no one has replied. You might need to explain where the chat box is.
Does everyone see chat on their sidebar?
Melissa just responded yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Oh, wow. Okay. Anyone else have an idea? I'm gonna click yes. See what happens. Come on.
Melissa, Melissa said the reason that she says both is because it's not the sole, let's see here. The reason I say both is because it is not the sole purpose.
Yes, it's just one of the stated purposes. So for this case, it would have been still yes, but because it is one of the stated purposes. Here's the next statement. So what does everyone think?
Melissa says yes.
Anybody else? Everyone else say yes?
Only response so far in the chat box.
All right. It is also one of another. Here's another one.
Melissa says yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And you might see if David and Dennis are trying to respond. In the chat box, it has to go to the entire audience
That's correct.
for me to see it.
Mine, David, what do you
Okay,
think?
I said yes for all of them.
You said yes. Okay. I just unmuted you for that one.
And you have to hit return to send the message.
What I'm going to probably do, John, is going to unmute a few of them on these questions and let them talk into their mic. That may
Good.
we got a small group. Okay, here's one. It's a little more difficult. Which of the following statements is not a stated purpose of Lions clubs? Lion Dennis. Lion Dennis, you have one for us?
Well, I don't think we promote political leaders.
I agree.
Okay, I got everybody unmuted, and it seems like that's the consensus. Let's check on it. And yes, that's.
I also, I'm also have doubt about provide a forum for open discussion of all matters of public interest. You know, political matters, religious matters.
That's the one I would have picked.
Okay. Each Lions Club is comprised of team leaders that support the activities of the club. You're one of those team leaders as secretary. This is the basic club organizational chart. This is the average club. You can vary as far as the number of VPs depending on the size of your club. But this is about a standard club size. Club is a form of, our club membership determines what we do, what kind of services we are interested in doing locally. As the membership, we elect board of directors. Now there is in the board of directors, there are elected directors that are elected for 2 years. And then there is the elected directors that are serving for 1 year. Those are last year's 2 years. It's a progression as far as the board members are concerned. Your membership chairman for your club is part of your board of directors. And there is a new position, and I think there will be 2 new positions. John can enlighten me on this one, but I think there will be a service coordinator at the club level, as well as the LCIF coordinator, which was added this year, where you had to elect as part of your board of directors. So those are the extra members of the board of directors. But you, the president, the secretary, the first vice president, second vice president, media past president, and treasurer also make up the board. As the president, secretary, first vice VP, second vice president, treasurer, and media past are all, they're part of the board, but yet the board governs their actions. They cannot work unilaterally without board approval. So it does include all those members we just said. You as the secretary, treasurer, lion tamer, tail twister are 2 optional ones. Now this officer team manual, that will be sent to you as being registered to take this course. I am sending everyone that has taken the course, both president and secretaries, an officer team manual. So you will have that. Please leave the digital version on your computer. If you want to print it out, you're more than welcome to, but it is long. I highly recommend just putting it on your laptop or desktop. Now we're going to look at shared responsibilities. The board shapes all new policies and considers all the business of the club. They authorize all expenditures and shall not create any indebtedness of the club. So at the end of their term, you want to be debt-free or as close to it. Have the power to modify, override, and rescind the action of any officer of the club. So you cannot dictate if you're president of the club. Appoint the surety for the bond of any officer of the club. Normally that is the treasurer. If you are the secretary and the treasurer, then you will be bonded. Appoint a finance committee and determine the banks or banks for the deposit of funds. Have the books audited annually. Make sure at least two separate funds governed by generally accepted accounting practices, one for activities, one for administration. Not authorize the expenditure of administrative purposes any net funds raised from the public, and submit all matters of new business and policy to the respective standing or special club committees for recommendations. Not only does the Lions Learning Center offer free online courses to assist you in your membership development this year, I am highly recommending, both at the president's and secretary schools, for you to join the Lions University. If you're wanting to take your bachelor degree through the Lions University, that's everything you need to know as a club officer, to and including club president training, club secretary training, club treasurer training, are just one of the three of the required courses for you to take. I highly recommend it, and I've already started my master's, so I'm gone on. I've finished my bachelor's, so. I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if it's working. If it's not, I'll go into it after a while. Lions Learning Center is very effective, and it's free. So now let's take a look at your responsibilities as club secretary. You are the club business manager, and your primary responsibilities include: one, you attend all club and board meetings. If you can't attend, you make sure that you have someone there to take notes for the minutes. Organizing club and board meetings. That is a dual job as secretary, unless your president says otherwise, that it's completely your responsibility. It is shared between you and the president. A lot of presidents don't want to do the agenda. They want you to control the agenda. And so as secretary, so you can, depending on how you operate together. You will record meeting minutes. Most of the meeting minutes you're going to record meeting minutes of your board meetings and of your business meetings, your membership meetings, when you're conducting business. So those are the two times that you will be recording meeting minutes. You will keep all club records. I highly recommend that you have a notebook, that you put your agendas in, you put your minutes in, you put correspondence in, everything that you get during the year, and keep it at the end of the year. You will receive and be responding to all club correspondence, whether it's coming from the members to the club, from LCI to the club, or from the general public to the club. it should come through you, and you will keep a record of the responses back on that correspondence. You will complete and fill out all club reports with LCI. That's done online. And you will cooperate as an active member of the District Governor's Advisory Committee for the zone. That's right, zone meetings. There are 3 required zone meetings annually of the zone chair. It's your job to coordinate with the president to give a report at the zone on what the club is doing. So you will need to attend all club and board meetings. This is kind of how things fall out during the year. Their board of directors meet monthly, and then there's club regular meetings, usually twice a month on average. There are some that work every week as far as their club regular meetings. Board of directors special meetings, that's when it's requested by 3 or more of the board members to have a meeting. And club special meetings, which have to be requested at least 10 days prior. Annually, any charter anniversary you have, and officer transition meetings. If your club has not had this in a while, it should be on a regular basis annually done, where your outgoing officers and any incoming officers meet. It could be a board meeting in the month of June for the transition. So we're going to take a look at organizing club and board meetings. I think I covered most of them. You will be providing members with advance notice of the meeting dates and times. In conjunction with the president, as I told you, create a meeting agenda. Assemble any correspondence to give to the membership or to the chairpersons. Prepare awards for new member kits if necessary, and prepare club roster for taking attendance. Yes, you will be required to take attendance. You will record meeting minutes, document any guest speakers, non-line visitors, and visiting lions. Collect and record dues, give members receipts. Now, you may think this is the treasurer's job. The treasurer handles the money. You handle the membership. So if the membership is writing a check to the club, that first comes to you. You record that you received the dues for whatever that check is. Then you will pass it on to the treasurer. The treasurer only handles deposits, the monies, and so forth, and records what the deposits are. It is the secretary's responsibility to check whose dues are, who's not paying dues or who's paying dues and when they're paying dues. Gather activity information from committee chairpersons. That's a duty that doesn't often happen. Should happen. You should have some of your vice presidents ramrodding and helping you on that job. Ask new members to fill out appropriate forms. So after the meeting, you're going to collect everything, turn it over to the treasurer, anything that was given to you to record. You file and distribute any copies of minutes from that meeting. and follow up on any outstanding issues from the meeting, which you can put on the next meeting agenda. The responsible preparing board meetings, merely working with the president as far as preparing the meetings from the minutes usually and any agendas. So let's look at recording. You're recording the type of meeting, the date and place of the meeting, name of the presiding officer over the meeting, um, whether the previous meeting minutes were approved, all motions, their movers, and whether the motions were sustained or lost. All points of order and appeals, whether they are sustained or lost. Time the meeting was called to order and adjourned. The biggest thing that you need to also note is you don't need to record everything that was being said in the discussion. Discussions are informal, only motions and those items are formal. So you don't have to record the discussions. Keeping club records. If you're currently doing the duties, do you have all of these in your book? Um, if you don't, you need to get some of these and put them in your book so you have them for the whole year as you progress during the year. Have a system to take care of it. I think I lost my PowerPoint all of a sudden. Can everyone still hear me? Let me get where I'm at. I'm finally back, folks. I'm sorry. Had technical difficulty. I don't know what happened. I lost my whole PowerPoint. I recovered. Um, yes, the secretary receives a lot of information from LCI. It comes electronically. It may also come snail mail. Um, so it's important that you as a secretary have your contact information, not only emails, address at LCI, but your snail mail address. It's important that all correspondence coming to you from all avenues is opened, read, and distributed in a timely manner. As I can tell you, and I can't overemphasize the fact that it is highly recommended that the club secretary and president meet prior to the start of your term to discuss how correspondence will be answered. There are some items that the president may want to answer himself or herself. Get that information up front, and so you can stay on the same page when it comes to correspondence. In some clubs, the secretary's responsibility is the club newsletter and is integral to the club's public relations. Now, that's a lot to add to the secretary's position. So hopefully, if you've got a large enough club, you've got those spread out to other folks. But you'll have to correspond with those that are doing those so you can ensure that all club news is also published. Completing and filing all club reports. Very important job. It's important because timely reporting is what earns the club a Club Excellence Award at the end of the year. Some of the reports and forms we'll be responsible for include the monthly membership report, the monthly club service activity report, club officer report, club supplies order form. Yes, only you and the president as secretary have the right to bill the club at the Lions Club's International store. When you go onto the Lions Club's International website, right at the top of the page is My LCI. It is the reporting website used by Lions Clubs around the world. We use it here in the United States. It is access to the LCI website, and all required forms are submitted in that function. When you come into My LCI, you submit your monthly membership officer reporting form online, view up-to-date member information cards, print membership cards, log your club services activities each month, and review successful service activities that other clubs have shared. Once you've been reported, and you should, if you're new, you should have already been reported, and you will be able to go hit that My LCI after this class this evening, hit that, and if it's the first time, you've never been on it before, follow the instructions as new user and set up your username and password. I would highly recommend that you use your membership number as your username and then create your own password when you do this, because whatever title you have, you will, it's tied to your um, membership number. That's quite a responsibility, don't you think? Let's do a brief overview of what we've just gone through. Lion David, I've unmuted you. What's your answer? Lion Melissa?
C.
B?
C.
C?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay. Lion Dennis?
C, Charlie.
Okay. Lion David? You're going to have to unmute yourself.
B,
B is in boy?
B, as in cat.
C is in cat. That's a preponderance. Let's see what's going on here. That should be correct. Come on. That's correct. Lion Dennis. True or false?
That's one of the words used for it. Failed. True.
Okay. Lion Melissa?
True.
True.
All right. We'll just mark true by the preponderance.
Those are the other two words.
Yeah. Yeah, lost or defeated. We got one more question, I think, here. What will you say here? Does anyone have anything to say here?
E, scheduling meetings.
Schedule meetings.
I agree.
I'll concur.
Yep. That
I'll
works.
concur.
Wait a minute, I'm going too fast here. Okay, let's talk briefly about your position as a member of the district governor's advisory committee for the zone. And as of last year, and it's not on this one, is we've added in District 2S3 the club membership chairs to the district governor's advisory committee. So not only do we have the zone chairmen, the club presidents and secretaries. His or her job as zone chairman is to take your information and present it to the district level to get district governor send advice up that way and vice versa coming back to the club. The zone chairman is responsible to make sure that you are operating by the standard club constitutional and bylaws as put out by Lions Clubs International. They will help promote you coming to multiple district and international conventions, promote attendance at charter nights between the clubs, and discuss ways of helping clubs that need assistance. And we learn from each other. And when you have a group of six clubs, it's a lot easier to work if you're all geographically located together. As secretary and the president gives a report if he's there or she is there at the zone meeting. Otherwise, the secretary will give the report for the club. And occasionally you may be asked to host a zone meeting. The zone meeting meets 3 times annually. And these are the ideas where you exchange ideas, work with each other, know what each other is doing fundraising and activity wise, so you're not stepping on each other's toes. And so we can work better together as a team. Here's some more courses you can take. These are online courses at Lions Learning Center: public relations, public speaking, meeting management. All great courses. And as you go up to district level, those classes will become part of your training. Now we're down to planning your term. Yes, folks, you are about to start your term for your year. You need to plan what you're going to do, what you're going to do different than you did before. If you're still in that same position, if you're new, you need to get with the president and start planning your term. Identify ways to prepare for your new role and responsibilities. Outline ongoing actions that you'll need to take throughout your term. This is important. That's why you need to coordinate if you're coming in new with the outgoing secretary to see if there's anything tabled from the meetings the year before that may come up later on in your term. You are taking one of those steps this evening by attending the club officer training. Um, you need to come and this is part of the Club Excellence award program. The officers have to attend district club officer training. That's one of the items to be ticked off. As I said, meet with your current secretary to review any outstanding issues. If you use my LCI, create your account and review training materials. On my LCI itself, once you are registered, you can go into what is called a training area. That training area is now good. It's officially good this month. You can go in between now and July 1st and actually work with your own club records in an environment where you can add, subtract, do all kinds of actions on, report new officers, the whole 9 yards in this training area and not affect your club's normal records. If you're brand new, this is what I recommend that you go take a look at. Please verify officer membership information is correct. That was reported this year to my LCI. Folks, if you have a president, a vice president that does not have a email address, please, I can't overemphasize the fact that Lions Club's International president wants to communicate with his presidents during the year by email. And it behooves whoever is in the president's position to have an online email address. You can go to Gmail and create one for your year. Very easily, go to Hotmail. There's several online email just for the purpose of staying in contact with Lions Clubs International. We have several clubs with presidents that don't have emails, and we have several that don't have secretaries with emails. And that's a no-no. And work with the club president and treasurer on annual budget and assist in setting up committees. Attend club board meetings, submit monthly reports, submit activities reports, keep member records up to date, collect and turn monies over to the club treasurer, and respond and send out letters of correspondence. That's your monthly duties. Quarterly duties, attend a zone meeting, report to the president or board any delinquency issues, who hasn't paid their dues, and that kind of thing. Confirm the list of members that are sent to the treasurer. The treasurer will receive from LCI a list of the members that LCI has on that we're paying for, that you as the club are paying for. You as the secretary verify that you have all of those members and they're still active or in one form or one type of membership. Melissa, is this the one that you won on a quarterly basis? Biannually, confirm the list, like I said, of the dues and work with your treasurer. As needed, review membership applications, file and club records, submit new member information to LCI, order club supplies and awards to LCI. At election time, the annual election, you will submit your club officer report, the PU 101, receive and distribute information from multiple district and international conventions. There's a lot of information concerning elections at the district and state level that you need to make sure that your members get to see. And then you apply to LCI and district for membership awards. There's a lot of membership awards that are given at the district level, but you can submit one of your club members for. Doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's worked at the district for some, especially the Gold Spur and the Silver Spur in our district, as well as the Harry Reasonover. Just as you're planning your term, you need to plan your succession. Make sure your records are 100% attendance and years of service awards are correct. Make a new attendance record form for the coming year. Prepare an annual report of activities, donations, and so forth. If you're doing this one, do this on a monthly basis. Yes, the activity report is an annual report, but if you do it monthly, you won't be scratching your head come June to fill out the rest of your year. Confirm all club files are up to date and ready for transfer to your incoming club secretary. Meet with them and go over any outstanding issues. As you can gather, the Lions Learning Leadership Center has a lot of information, a lot of online courses that will help you set goals, write a personal mission statement, and manage change. That is a good course. We've mentioned all of these all throughout this evening, and these are some of the most important web pages that are out there. It's My LCI, Club Officer Orientation Manual, the Leadership Resource Center, Lions Learning Center, Lions Club Member Resources, Managing a Club, we have My LCI If you get stuck and you get into My LCI, I highly recommend using the My LCI website, video, take it, go through it before July 1st. You will have a better time working through My LCI. It's a great video tutorial. If you go down the Constitution and bylaws, that LA2, which is the standard club, the one that's out there now has, yes, it is the revised one that I sent you, but it's all cleaned up. It just says June 2016. That's June 30th, 2016. That's the one that's all cleaned up. You can use that one, download that one, put it in your book. Now the LA4, the district one, you can put that out there if you so desire. I highly recommend that you just put that as a digital form along with the officer's manual. And especially the international one. The international one is now that and the board policies. Leave that as a digital form on your computer. Club officer team manual, that's the one I said keep digitally. The art of recognition, go through that. I'm highly recommending that for presidents, but U.S. secretaries should have it also when you start talking about awards and doing that. That's a great thing to refer to. We're coming to the end. This module for club secretary training is pretty in-depth. We just don't have a time in the 1 hour format to actually go into My LCI and actually do some maneuvers in it. I usually take folks into the training area. So I'm highly recommending that you, once you log on, get your username and password, go into the training area and start maneuvering through it after you've seen how to use My LCI tutorial. I'm going to unmute everybody and go into more detailed questions. Does anyone have any questions?
Not so far.
Lion Naomi, you came in late.
I'm here.
You have any questions?
Just wondering if we're going to be able to receive this PowerPoint.
What's going to happen? This is being recorded. In a day or two, I will have it up on the leadership training webpage on the district website, and you can go through the entire presentation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else have any questions?
Hey, thank you, Mike. This is Dennis. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and hopefully we're going to get started with the treasurers on Thursday, and then we'll do the presidents next Monday. So we'll get things going again. Now that I've got one under my belt, got everything seemed to be working fine. So except for losing it in the middle. So
Everything was great. Thank you so much.
well,
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, I'm